and welcome to this VPS Game Time broadcast. Tonight, two excellent programs head into week at the historic Kiggins Bowl. The Skyview Storm hosts the Federal Way Eagles in a four-hay powerhouse matchup. We should have an exciting game on our hands tonight. I'm Jordan Ryan on hand with Paul Valencia from Clark County today, and we'll have the call. So Skyview is about to kick it off. What is their mindset going in, especially with where Camas is right now?
Well, Skyview, this is game one. It's not game 10, it's game one. They believe they were the best team in the league. They're officially second. Camas earned the right to be the number one seed from the 4A GSHL. Camas beat Skyview. But if Camas is one of the top 5 teams in the state, Skyview right there in the discussion, they were that close to them. Skyview believes this is the first game of a long playoff run.
Right you are as Skyview looks to kick it off. And that'll be a short kick, fall into the hands of Federal Way. And they will stop right around the 43-yard line, give or take, after a short kick from Skyview. Federal with solid field position on that one there.
Yes, and also this is a third or fourth time I've done this, and to you viewers out there, I also talk about how I write a story and how I do stats and play-by-play. So you'll hear me say that throughout the night.
The Eagles look to throw it downfield. Number 3 almost with the catch, and that's out of his hands. He did not have possession of the football. No fumble there. That was Ronald Davis III. A tough tackle between two Skyview defenders.
I couldn't tell if that was Xavier Owens who got the hit, but it was a big hit that jarred the ball loose.
And they'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles after that incomplete pass.
I also should note that when I said play-by-play, I meant my play-by-play notes to help me write my story for Clark County Today, not your play-by-play.
No,
Jordan is in charge of play-by-play for this broadcast.
They'll go to number 5. He rolls his way into the 50, and that is Jalen Bogan with the 5-yard pickup there. So actually he'll be just short of the 50 and will sit at the 49. And the Eagles led by Tausili hands it off down the middle. And the Eagles pick up an easy first down as they get to the 40. That's Desmond Myova.
Okay, Federal Way in the early part of this decade was, kind of a mainstay in the state playoffs. They haven't gotten there in a few years. So again, to remind our viewers, the winner of this game goes to state, goes to the Class 4A state playoffs.
So it's a big game for both of them, and so far the Eagles have been moving up the field at a decent clip. We'll see if they can get another first down here as they've gotten past the 50. Tausili sits in the pocket, looks to throw, and that's too far off to the left and out of bounds. The intended receiver was Corey Quinn, number 7 at the bottom of your screen.
So I'd also like to say we also have Brian Levesque here, who's an assistant coach from Battleground, but he also, you all know him as the guy who ran that incredible site, gshlfootball.com. And he does all kinds of archives for every school. He doesn't care just about Battleground, he cares about every school. He's here helping out with stats. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, while we may not hear his voice, it's much appreciated, the stats that we're going to get. So, 2nd and 10. Tausili hands it off. Number 5 again. That's Jalen Bogan, who is pushed back and stopped at about the 40, or excuse me, the 38-yard line there. So 3rd and 7. He'll actually be at the 37. Eagles with a big down right here. Hands off to number 7, that's Corey Quinn. Quinn slicing down the right side, and he's pushed back and tackled. Falls just short. And a nice tackle there by Jake Miller.
Really good block by number 44, Lee. Oh boy, I'm really bad with the names, but Teepu. I'm bad with this. Everyone, I'm an old journalist. All I had to do was spell the names for years and years, and now I'm helping to do this, so forgive me with that. But a great block by 44.
Eagles will go for it on the 4. Off down the middle to Bogan, and he will not get it there. That's a turnover on downs, and Skyview will take the football at around the 32 or the 33-yard line. Risky play there for the Eagles as they weren't able to complete on those last 2 opportunities, and Skyview ends up with the football.
And I also have to tweet up. So I'll be on radio silence sometimes, so my apologies. I'm trying to do a bunch of things at once.
So the power duo of Yaro Duvalko and Jelani McGee enter the backfield. We'll see what they come up with here. Duvalko throws it down the middle to number 3, and he will be tackled at about the 41. That was Mason Wheeler with the catch. So Skyview quickly gains 8 and moves to the 42. Duvalko, 3 receivers, will hand it off to McGee. McGee powers his way, he's got a first down, and he'll stop at the 48. McGee with a nice run there, so 2 plays, and Skyview ends up with their first down of the night, getting past the 50-yard line. And they have been an offensive powerhouse all season. McGee being the spearhead of said offense.
Really happy for Jelani McGee. Nice guy. All the coaches talk about what a good guy he is, but he's also been healthy this year. A lot of load management, making sure he doesn't get too many carries. They had to save him for the play. Not save him. He had 20 touchdowns this year. That's amazing. But there were some games where he just didn't get a whole lot of carries.
And throwing to Wheeler. Wheeler slips as he spins there. Nice catch as he ends up at the 33 or 34-yard line there. Another first down for Skyview. And Wheeler with the second completion of the night. As Skyview continues to push it up the field. And on McGee, at this time last year he was dealing with injuries, and to see him in a state of what seems to be somewhat health on that catch there. Great to see. McGee pressures his way into the 24.
Okay. Here's an interesting one for stat keepers. I'm not 100% sure if I saw the official point backward pass, but the 2 of us we believe that was a backward pass. So in football, that's a rush for Jelani McGee.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's up to the stat keepers are just trying to determine. Sometimes we get help from the officials who will actually point and let us know.
So more of a long pitch than a reception for McGee on that first down play there, on that 8-yard gain. He'll get the first down with this play as he slices his way inside the defense and is able to get around to the 17-yard line or so. First down.
If they're going to put the ball back on the 20, he scooted up ahead, but I think he was down first.
Back to the 20. So regardless, it's a first down with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Duvalko goes back to McGee. McGee patient on the inside and is able to get 4 or 5 yards on that run there. They have been going to him almost every play here, as there's only been 2 overall receptions in the entire play series. So he'll pick up 3 on that one there. Duvalko, play action, will not hike the ball off yet.
Yeah, the Storm have been doing this for years. They line up, and they wait for the defense, and then they call a play at the line. Every once in a while, they'll go real quick and surprise the defense.
We'll go to McGee again. McGee pressuring his way inside and drags a couple defenders with him as he gets inside the 10. Well, McGee had the whole left side, sorry.
Yeah, 10 more yards for McGee. It's just, keep running until they can stop him, right? Keep giving him the ball.
So 1st and goal. Skyview at the 7. Only 2 receivers on the field. He'll go to McGee again, because why not, as he gets into the middle, and touchdown! Skyview scores with 5 minutes and 53 left to go in the first. Jelani McGee, and who other than Jelani McGee with that score there.
I would like to thank the Skyview coaches and Jelani McGee for making me look good when I just said a minute ago, just keep giving them the ball until they stop him. They're not going to stop him. Touchdown.
And if it ain't broke, and that has been the play there as Skyview goes up 6-0. Slyman Farron will kick it off here. And we'll see if he can bring it up to a 7-0 for the Storm. He does. And Skyview will kick the ball off once again after that score there. Skyview with a nice push, led by Jelani McGee. And they're up 7-0 on their own field.
So again, normally I take the greatest stats in the world and I know everything right away, but again, I'm trying to help you out, and so Brian's doing the stats, but I believe that was a 7-play, 67-yard drive. And Jelani McGee had 5 carries. Of course, he had DeValco done. Yep. I might have missed it. Anyway, I might have missed a play. What, are you saying it was 8 plays? Brian says it was 8 plays.
Well, a lot of carries.
We'll figure that out.
67 yards and over 5 carries.
Yes.
So
I apologize. I am.
You got a lot to do.
I don't do this very often, but I'm doing 3 things at once.
So Skyview will kick it off again for the 2nd time tonight.
So McGee had 6 carries for 42 yards on that drive, and the touchdown.
Right, and 67 yards in total there, so a significant portion for Skyview. So Slyman Farron will kick it off to the waiting arms of the Eagles. This time it is a regular kick there. Going up the field is the swarmed by Skyview defenders is number 11. That's Jatavius McGee.
So the Eagles take over at the 26, and again they got a couple of, got a couple of first downs last time, and then the drive stalled in the what I call the maroon zone. Too close to punt, too far for a field goal.
Pretty much no man's land, yeah. And so in an attempt to go for a 4th down conversion, they turn the ball over there. We'll see if they can get a little bit more success here. Looks like RJ Tassali will keep it, and he'll pick up about 5 yards, give or take there.
A nice fake to get out to the outside. It's the first time they've shown that this game. Hasn't been too many plays, but that was the first time they've shown that one.
Tassili will look to throw it this time, and that's to Bogan. Bogan looks like he'll get the first down as he falls at right around the 36 or 37-yard line. So first down for the Eagles.
It's interesting that was one where I wasn't sure if it was a pass or a rush, but Brian's going with a run. It was a backward pass or a sideways pass. So we'll go with what Brian says.
So a rush there from Bogan. He'll hand it off again, this time to Bogan. Once again, and he won't pick up more than maybe a yard. That's if he got back to the line of scrimmage at all, as he meets a mountain of Skyview defenders. And so tough carry for him there. It looks like he picks up actually 2 yards on that play. Eagles, they'll hand it off to Bogan again. This time he's got some free rein, and a spin will get him right just short of a first down. Or no, he got the first down there. So Jalen Bogan with a run there. He had a little bit of room and was able to turn on the jets and get the spin for the first down.
It wasn't a great initial play by the Skyview defense, but he had so much room. Only picking up 8 yards is probably a good stop.
And they'll go to Bogan again, and he'll stall, maybe picking up 2 or so. One of the Skyview players grabbing the ball. That's number 51, Jake Miller, whistles before that. So 2nd and 8 at the 49. Well, Eagles have shown the ability to get the first down. Question is, will they be able to get out of land here? Looks like
ball on the ground.
Tassili was running it there. That's the 2nd time he showed run in this game so far.
I actually never saw the ball on the ground, but the scramble made me think it was a fumble, and I couldn't tell.
There were a lot of bodies on the ground.
Federal Way got the ball back.
Well, regardless of that, 3rd and 9. Tassili throws it to number 5. That's again Bogan, who's been the go-to weapon for the Eagles as of this drive. That won't be enough for a first down. We'll see if the Eagles decide to go for it.
Just about every team in this at this part of the field will at least line up like it, and then some teams will do a quick kick like this.
And there's a quick kick for the Eagles, and they're going to get some stellar defensive field position as they stop the kick just at the 6.
Well done. It doesn't really surprise anybody anymore, but what that does is it causes the defense to play defense, because you don't know if they're going to play a regular play or not, and so the defense has to be ready for anything. They don't have the punt return on, so then you kick it down there and let the ball roll. Great play by the Federal Way.
So Federal Way does not respond to the Storm's first 7 points. We'll see if they can bring up a defensive stop here to keep Skyview from moving up the field. Skyview's got a long way to go into the end zone, but they've shown some offensive power so far. They'll start right off the bat with none other than Jaylani McGee. McGee working the left side, gets the first down, and he'll trot out of bounds. An easy first down for McGee, and that is the way it's been for him all night. Just very little stopping him, and Skyview has not broken from their pattern of using him again and again. Here we'll see that as Jaylani McGee working down that left side and able to get the first down. Skyview with 3 receivers on the right side or near the bottom of your screen.
I left you hanging there, Jordan. Sorry about that. Had to go back to Twitter.
Duvalco looks to throw it, and that's a catch. Xavier Owens is still going. Xavier Owens down to the 30, and he's finally taken down.
I don't know if we have a replay of this, but you looked down to see who it was, and he fumbled the ball. He didn't fumble the ball. He bobbled the ball around the 50-yard line on his own. No one knocked the ball out of his hands, but he just kind of like put the ball up in there. Here it comes.
And here it is again. And
there's the ball.
He nearly loses it.
Doesn't matter. It goes as a long pass. No one will ever know that you did that, Xavier. No. Great pass by Yaro Duvalco, by the way. Just over the outstretched hands of a Federal Way defender.
And that pass was nearly picked off, but he was able to get it right into the sweet spot, and just like that, Skyview's on the other side of the field, sitting at the 28. Duvalco with a little time, looks to throw it. That's number 3, and undercut by Jatavius McGee.
But nice catch by Mason Wheeler. I believe that was Mason Wheeler
with
again.
A nice catch, of course.
And he made a move, and that shoe, what do they call it?
A shoestring tackle. There it is.
And if he doesn't do that, I think he scores. So great catch, great move, and a better tackle.
And just able to get him by the ankle on that play there was Jatavius McGee.
The Storm will take that yardage, though, anytime.
So at the 13 is the Storm. They'll go to McGee. McGee down the middle. McGee, a lot of room to run, and an easy touchdown. His second of the night as Jaylani McGee pulls up strong for the Skyview Storm again, and they score with under a minute
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it's high school football, these things. It happens at the pro level sometimes, too. A Federal Way defender made what we call a business decision. Jelani McGee was coming down full speed and it didn't really want a part of getting that hit. It was probably too late anyway. McGee intimidated a Federal Way defender on his way into the end zone.
And it probably was too late anyway. They'll kick it off here, and that's good. So hitting the scoreboard is Farron, as that's 14-0. Skyview.
I think Farron there was a fair. Sorry about that. We were trying to figure out that we had
Farron,
three different pronunciations when we went down on the field. Three different coaches gave us three different pronunciations on that one. But I think he was practicing his 50-yard field goal on that one, low and
flat. But it worked. So 14-0. Skyview Storm over the Eagles, and the Eagles have shown to be able to get first downs and get decent field position so far in this game. They just haven't been able to really move up the field with great speed or been able to get anywhere near the end zone. The closest they've been is the 33. So we'll see if that can change here with a minute 11 left to go in this first quarter. Skyview looks to kick it off to the Eagles once again after McGee's second touchdown of the game.
That was a 4-play, 93-yard drive. Took about a minute and 19 seconds. So that great punt by Federal Way, it didn't matter because the Skyview offense is on tonight. Yeah,
I think the big subtractor from that is the catch by Xavier Owens, who was able to get about 50 or so yards off of that. And number 11, Jatavius McGee, goes down the middle, breaks a tackle, but runs into three more. He'll end up at the 20.
Yeah, there's a lot of action for, if you just let the ball go in the end zone, it would have been at the 20. I think Federal Way is going to try to return. Well, I guess they got, the 21, 22. So a
little more, but
21. But I think Federal Way is going to want to try to return every kick that they can, just to try to break one. Down 14-0. They need a big play right now. Well, they could have used a big play. It's too early to say they needed that. But
and at this point, the way Skyview's been scoring at this rate, it would be smart to get themselves on the board, or be favorable to get themselves on the board as quickly as they can. Skyview's been known to get large distances, and they'll go to number 3. That's Ronald Davis III. And Skyview's been known to be able to have a lot of offensive firepower and put up big leads. So the last thing the Eagles want is to be down by a large margin going into halftime. But for now, the end of the first quarter is under a minute away. They'll hand it off again. That's to number 5, Bogan. And clock's running. Not that it matters.
So
3rd and 4.
Kind of a big third down play here for Federal Way. Down 14-0. Their defense hasn't shown anything that stops Skyview. They need a first down or two just to stop Skyview's momentum.
And it looks like they'll get one here. Breaking free is Bogan. Bogan gets past the 50, still going, and he'll be spun out of bounds. A flag at the 40.
That's going to be a late hit. Well, I don't know if it's officially what they call it in high school, but it was certainly unnecessary. He was already out of bounds, and then one more little fling to make sure he was out. But it's going to be 15 more yards is my guess.
Well, a huge play there, and you called it as a big tide changer there. Jalen Bogan was able to work down that right side and get into the 40. We'll see if this flag has any impact on the play. It could make it an even better scenario for the Eagles.
Now that I see that replay, they might have called a horse collar on that. I'm not sure exactly.
It looks like he had a grip on him on some part of his jersey.
Yeah, but it just, from our point of view, it looked like it was possibly late, but I don't know exactly what it was 15 yards. It's a personal foul. We know that.
So they'll move it up the field, and instead of sitting at the 40, the Eagles will go to the
29.
29. So huge play for the Eagles. Is this the closest they've been to the end zone all night? Handing it off. Or no, they'll throw it, and that's high and too much for Corey Quinn.
Michael Stromberg from Skyview, he was in that tough position as a defensive back, and yeah, 30 years ago and 100 pounds ago, I was a defensive back. And that's a tough thing. You're driving to go make the tackle in case the ball is thrown correctly, but the ball turned out to be overthrown and you weren't ready to go back for the interception. You got to play defense first before going for the ball. Got to go.
They'll run it this time down the middle, and looks like they'll pick up 4 or 5 yards. Clock's going to run out, and the first quarter is going to come to an end. So as of right now, the Skyview Storm are up 14-0 before we flip the field, as Skyview showing some dominance on the offensive end. The Eagles, on the other hand, showing some signs of life with a late run. We'll see if that turns into anything in the second quarter. So 12 more minutes left to go in the half.
Okay, so like I said, we talked about this earlier. Skyview's had no problem scoring, so Federal Way has to respond on this drive to just let people know that.
And we're going to take a look at the replay real quick. So that's Jalen Bogan running down the middle, and of course Skyview dominant as ever with that play there.
Here's that long play, Owen. And he's fortunate to keep the ball. I said Owen, it's Owens.
And then that catch there from Wheeler, and of course Jelani McGee finishing it off.
So that's 22 touchdowns for Jelani McGee. Oh, and
as we get back to the second quarter, 2 players down, one for Skyview.
One for each team, it looks like.
Not a good sign there.
Not even going to try to say what happened. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
We were caught looking at those great replays.
And so on that play, there was a run that ended up getting the Eagles into a 4th and 2 situation.
So they must have gained, they gained 3 yards. But we'll worry about the, we'll reset the game right now. It's 4th and 2 on the next play. Federal Way will be going for it, I would imagine. I don't know if they have a great kicker, but that would be a 40-yard kick.
It's a 21-yard line.
Yeah, so my guess is it'd be a 38, 39-yard field goal attempt if they tried it. But my guess is they're going to go for it down 14-0 and only 2 yards to the first down.
And they've been able to pick up small yards when they've needed to.
Yeah.
So far, it's really been the 7s and 3rd and 8s that have been their issue.
Exactly.
So right now, both teams collectively taking a knee. Number 50 for
I was just
Skyview.
Getting a report that it was just one of those, bad football collisions. I don't think either one saw each other coming, and they might have hit each other in the helmet.
So Josiah Cochran walks off the field as number 50 for Skyview, and getting up for the Eagles is a player whose number I can't quite see.
No.
But he is a good deal slower to get off the field.
But at least he's sat up, and that's that's a good sign. Now he's up.
And walking on his own legs is number 55, Covenant Savusa.
6'2", 330 pounds. Yeah, he's hard to miss. So while we have a break here, I want to tell everybody that, Jordan Ryan is not only an excellent play-by-play person, and she sounds like, she does this for a living, but she actually still goes to high school for a living. Senior at Columbia River High School.
Yeah.
and one of the best basketball players in the region. A couple years ago, she helped orchestrate one of the biggest upsets in district basketball playoffs when Columbia River beat Washougal a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm excited for this season, and we'll get back to the game here. Thank you. As that's Jalen Bogan who's able to get that first down. So they went for it on the 4th and 2 after a brief interlude. The Eagles go off swinging, and they'll.
My apologies. I watch too much NFL, so whenever there's an injury, there's like a 3 or 4 minute TV break. And I just figured, we got time to talk, and then all of a sudden, boom, they snap the ball. Anyway, Federal Way with the 4th down play to get the first down. It's 1st and goal.
Right at the 8-yard line is Federal Way, and this is the best opportunity they've had all night. They'll hand it off again to Bogan. He'll push his way to around the 3-yard line. Bogan's been a good go-to player for the Eagles all night, picking up yards, and this run has been no exception. So 2nd and 3.
I hear a helicopter above us, which tells us one of the local, the Portland TV stations is here getting some great aerials.
I'll hand it off to, oh no, excuse me.
The quarterback kept that, and yep, Skyview
kept it, and
Skyview defense not fooled.
Skyview bottled him up and was not able to get any more than a yard there. So Tausili with 1-yard pickup on that run. 3rd and 2. Tausili, high snap, throws it, looks to number 11, and that is bobbled and not caught.
And we got a flag that came down.
Jatavius McGee, who missed the catch. Could be a pass interference there, as Amir Bonds was on defense. And he nearly caught that despite.
So here's the strange thing. Here's the strange thing with high school football. That is not an automatic first down. It is, in this case, half-foot distance to the goal. Oh, wait. The guy switched it to first down, but it's, yep, and then he had to switch it back to 3rd down. It's just replay the down. It is not an automatic first down in high school football. It still blows my mind.
And another flag.
So this is why this is such a big deal. That's going to be a false start on Federal Way. So in every other level of football, pass interference is a first down. And now in high school, it's not. You have to get past the goal, the mark to gain. And there is no mark to gain if it's goal to go. So now Federal Way has a 5-yard penalty, goes back down to the 6, but it's 3rd down. Scoreboard still says first down, but
it's 3rd.
It is 3rd down.
Indeed.
It's the one of the most bizarre rule changes. What, about 5 or 6 years ago they did that rule change, and I'll never understand why.
Well, 2 tough blows for the Eagles. They'll look to throw it again, and that is through the arms of the intended receiver.
It would have been an incredible catch. It was very high, but yes, it was a good defense too. And I think that's Wheeler out there. It's you know, I just want to let people know, if you're not familiar with Kiggins Bowl, we are very, very far away from the field. It's a really cool venue, but it's tough to see the numbers sometimes.
In need of binoculars sometimes.
So now it's 4th and goal from the 6.
So 10 minutes. 4th and 6. 4 receivers on the field. And Tausili sacked. And he is taken down.
I think it's, I can't tell. The numbers are squished. The numbers are squished.
I believe that's number 88, Micah Bayless, with a spectacular sack as he came right into the blind spot of Tausili.
Well, that would make sense because he's got a ton of sacks this year for Skyview. He's been amazing all season.
So a massive play. The Eagles were on the doorstep of a touchdown or at least a kick. They went for it on 4th and 6, and they ended up losing the football altogether. Skyview ends up with it again. after a spectacular play from Micah Bayless from behind. So Duvalco will hand it off once again to Jelani McGee. This time he'll pick up only about 2 or 3 yards as Skyview starts it off quickly. So a huge blow for the Eagles as they had almost put themselves on the board, and then a few odd penalties with the way the high school rules go, and that sack obviously didn't do them any good. Duvalco, 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw it this time, facing pressure. He gets that in the dirt quickly before he was taken down by, looks like number 29.
So a couple things there. That was a design screen pass, but it just broke down too quickly. That was his first incomplete pass, though, and it really was. I mean, he threw it low, and he got it away. It was actually a smart play to get it out. I don't know if he was in the end zone when he was getting hit, but it could have been a safety if that way, or at least a very long loss if he'd gotten sacked.
He would have been awful close.
Throws it away, and you live to play another down.
So his first incomplete pass of the night.
Yeah, I think he's 4 for 4 for 94 yards. Yeah. Well, 4 for 5 now.
Duvalco looks to throw it this time. He'll get it down the middle, and that's Wheeler with a completed catch and the first down as he falls evenly at the 25. So after the Skyview Storm looked like they were backpedaling a little bit on a 3rd and 9, they were able to get the first down with a quick play like that, and that has been the story all night. Skyview has been able to just snap and get quick yards on any given play. Duvalco hands it off to McGee. McGee going down the middle. McGee, a lot of speed as he's able to get to the 41, and just a very tough tackle is McGee.
Reminds me of Josh Jacobs of the Raiders. I always have to say the Raiders at least, once every hour, or my heart will stop or something.
Right,
it's a really strange thing. But yes, he can run around you. He can run through you. That's Jelani McGee. 10 carries, 90 yards.
And we're not even
close to halftime.
Not even close to halftime, and we're looking at almost 100 yards.
Yeah.
So a flag on the field.
Offside. And I always like to remind people that you won't believe how many people still wonder why they blow the whistle on offsides in high school football. Because as soon as you're in the neutral zone or you go past it, it's over. The ball does not have to be snapped. It's just a dead ball. And a lot of people don't understand that. That's high school rules.
Duvalco looks to throw it. He's going to look deep to number 2, and that is broken up by number 3, Ronald Davis III.
That was a really good pass, and in this case, a better defense. Cooper Barnum was tracking that ball, was about ready to get it, and then Davis knocked it away.
And if Barnum had caught that ball, it could have easily been a touchdown, but Davis able to get in the middle of it and prevent Skyview from another huge yard gain off of a reception.
I believe Davis has an older brother at Washington State playing right now.
He'll hand it off to McGee. McGee following his blockers, not really anywhere to go. He'll get past the 50.
It was such a smart play. You don't have to get 7, 10, 12 yards every time. In this case, you just needed a few yards to get to the first down. And he waited and waited and waited as long as he could till the blockers developed. And he hit the hole, got the first down. Nothing fancy.
And McGee, in the years I've seen him play, has just shown incredible patience, not along with strength and speed, which is not common. It's not common in a lot of high school players, and it's something that he continues to amaze me when he does something like that. And so first down as Skyview's at the 47, they'll go to McGee again. He'll push through the middle, get about to the 44, give or take.
Earlier this season, he had a game, I think it was against Union, where he ended up with like 140 yards rushing, which is great. It was like 30 carries though. It wasn't like he got 80 yards here and 70 or 50 yards there. It was just 4 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. It just adds up, and the defense just gets tired of trying to tackle that man.
Only 2 receivers on the field, right side, top of the screen. He'll hand it off again to McGee, who will weave his way through defenders and get an easy first down.
And let's give credit. The offensive lineman gave him his initial space to get 4 or 5 yards, and then it was McGee's vision where he actually stepped back a yard to get around one other guy and then took off for, 7 or 8 more yards.
So an excellent play there by McGee as he was able to.
13 carries, 110 yards now, 6:22 left in the first half.
Ball at the 33. Duvalco will go to McGee again. McGee, a lot of room to run. Puts the speed on, and he will almost make it to the end zone, but I think he'll fall just out of bounds before it. So he's knocked out of bounds.
Put him down at the 2-yard line, but what a great effort. And one of those guys that he got so close to the end zone, he could have easily just run out of bounds at the 3-yard line, but he wanted to try to get that touchdown and ruled out of bounds. Man, he worked hard for that one, though.
Ellie picks up about 31 yards on that play. We'll see if he'll be the one to possibly finish for another touchdown here. They'll go to him again through the middle. And he pushed to the goal line, but I don't know how close.
Second down they've ruled.
Second down, so he is just short.
Yeah. So they're putting the ball on the 1-yard line, but...
I mean, he might have been closer than that. He was awful close.
I don't think it's... I think Skyview is pretty confident that he's going to get in this. And this is... By the way, this is going to be... Well, you know what? I'm not going to jinx anything. We'll just let it...
We'll just see what happens.
I'll say what I was about to say if Skyview scores.
Well, in the likely event that Skyview can get the ball 1 more yard, we'll see if they go to McGee again. They do. McGee, touchdown.
Yep, okay, now I can say it. A 14-point swing. Remember, Federal Way was on the 1-yard line just 5 minutes ago, trying to make it a 14-7 game. Nope, Skyview defense comes through, big sack on 4th down, and then McGee. Oh my gosh, what is he up to now? 143 yards rushing, I believe. And 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns. He scored every touchdown so far.
So that gives him 23 rushing touchdowns, and this is week 10.
So McGee continues to amaze. Skyview scores again, and the Eagles are still unable to stop the storm. And a kick by Varan is good, and that's a 21-0 score for Skyview Storm. The Eagles again on the doorstep of a possible touchdown as a couple penalties and Micah Bayless came out of nowhere and led away from the Eagles, and now again on a 14-point swing Skyview ends up 21-0.
That's an 11-play drive, 89 yards, took 4:46. Just on that drive, McGee, 8 carries, 70 yards. Thank you, Brian.
And at this rate, he's going to have 300 yards if he plays the whole game. We'll see. We'll see if he continues to play. That is dependent on if the Eagles can score pretty much within this half.
All right. So, and I told you I didn't want to jinx that whole 14-point swing thing until it actually happened. Well, it happened. Well, now this could be another jinx. I was on the field before the game, and I told one of the Skyview assistant coaches what I felt about this game. You know, and I'm not necessarily going to tell everyone what I predicted, but he just told me to shut up. He didn't want to hear that he thought that I thought Skyview was going to win. He didn't want to hear it. He just said, no predictions. I don't want to hear it. Well, right now it's 21-0, and they haven't been slowed down yet.
Skyview definitely has a strong lead, and the Eagles have yet to score. catch is made by Jatavius McGee as he's taken down at the 25 or 6 or 7 yard line, give or take, one of those. And so good tackle by Skyview as he'll.
This is a fun thing where print journalists have it better than broadcasters. We actually wait until they actually place the ball down before we write it down, but it's so tough because you have to guess. I hope you know that I'm not making fun of you. It happens to every broadcaster at every level. They got to say what they think it is to set up the next play. Well, we print journalists, we get to wait.
They'll hand it off, and that's Bogan. Bogan goes head on into 2 Skyview defenders and taken down. He is by number 25 and number 51. That's Kovani Kem and Jake Miller.
I'm so
Go ahead.
I'm so glad there's no camera on us right now, because you'd see this foolish, inexperienced broadcaster just try to take a drink and knock his mic over.
And they'll go down the middle. That's the QB being Tassili. Third and 6, or 3rd and 3, excuse me, for Federal Way. And there seems to be a little bit of confusion as to what they want to run.
They still have 10 seconds left before the play clock, no worries.
They get it off in time. Tassili runs it down the middle and gets that reception to go. That's the first big reception I've seen of the night so far. It's number 44, Tawipu.
Yep. 44, the guy with the great block earlier in this game. Now he shows off his hands.
So that's the first play I've really seen significant yardage, especially on the passing game here. We'll see if they can continue to do that. Bogan runs, gets to about the 40.
So he's now got 96 yards rushing. 96 yards rushing for him. So again, Federal Way's done a good job of getting first downs, getting a few first downs here and there, here and there, here and there. They just haven't been able to capitalize with any points. Skyview defense, bend but don't break.
We'll see if the Eagles can get a crack on the Skyview defense here. The throw down the middle that might have been received.
Ruled incomplete.
And incomplete. He was down before he caught it. And that was number 19, Koa DeRowan. And just tried to get that reception. He was down before he caught it, though. They'll go to Bogan again. Bogan gets the first down, still up on his feet, and he looked like he slipped out of bounds first.
Really hard to hear that whistle from here, but I did. I just said, yeah.
Especially with the headphones on.
Still enough for a first down, and once again, Federal Way. They're moving the ball from the 20 to the 20.
So Federal Way at the 34.
And he just the 100-yard mark. So we have 2 rushers now in this game over 100 yards, 1 for each team.
They'll go to him again, and that's Bogan spinning as he slips out of a tackle, picks up a couple yards, and ends up down about 2 yards short of first down. So 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the half.
So they're down 3 touchdowns. It's 2nd and short, and you've been able to run enough to get 4 or 5 yards every time. This might be a time to take a shot at the end zone or do some play action to fool the Skyview defense, get in the end zone.
We'll see what they do here. Tassili sacked again, and this time by number 2, Cooper Barnum.
Cooper Barnum. Hey, well, I was half right. They did the play action. They just didn't execute the rest of the play. But they did do the play action.
And so he will lose about 5 or 6 yards there. That's
So I promise you I was not listening to the Skyview defense's calls when I said what I thought was going to happen. But Skyview obviously saw what I saw because they blew that play up.
a lot of pressure, and Tassili was not able to get it. Bogan, on the other hand, will run it again. And there might have been a loose ball there. A lot of whistles beforehand.
Right. They gave him forward progress to the 30, so I think it's going to be 4th and 6. So once again, Federal Way gets a few first downs, make one mistake, and then their drive stalls, and then they're put in this position. Got a timeout by the Eagles to figure out this play.
They've been unsuccessful on 4th downs pretty much all night. Bogan not able to get quite enough yards there, taken down by about 3 or 4 Skyview defenders. 4th and 6, looking at this timeout for the Eagles. So minute 15.
Okay, we're trying. Yep, we're going to keep going.
Make sure you stick around for halftime. One of our interns, Liam Karb, produced a profile on the Skyview Jazz Band. So, plus, you want to know what Miss America Most Outstanding Teen goes for Skyview. Hang on. We have a play here. Looks like it's incomplete.
So we apologize for that.
Turnover on downs.
We're hearing stuff in our ears. It's fun doing this broadcast, but I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, and I might have messed that up and blew the timing. So blame me. But anyway, Federal Way went for it on 4th down as we thought they would. Little screen pass up the middle, that did not work. Incomplete pass, Skyview ball, 1:10 left in the first half. If I know the Storm, they're going to try to score one more time and really just,
more salt in the wound.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, make sure to stick around with us for halftime to get some other news from across Vancouver Public Schools, including that of Peyton May, who's using her platform to inspire teenagers to vote. That's excellent there, so make sure to stick around for that. And that's coming up in about a minute, but we'll have a timeout first. So the Eagles, again, all the opportunities in the world to score, but unable to get themselves into the coveted end zone or just to get a kick. They have not attempted a field goal all night. And reasonably so, they've ended up in odd positions that have either been too far or too close not to go for a touchdown.
Right. And I will always talk to coaches. I do talk to coaches about the pass interference rule. No one knows why they changed that rule.
And that was 2 play series ago.
I know.
No, but it still was impactful, and it ended up in a 14-point swing. We'll see if Skyview can push the ball up the field any quicker. So far, they've been incredibly quick on certain plays. McGee following the blockers. McGee with some daylight. McGee still going, and he is every defender left and right. Number 3 trying to chase him, McGee, and he is into the end zone.
I see no flags, and I'm about ready to see the white hat hands up. It is a touchdown. And I'm going to tell you, McGee is the most impressive player on that play, the second most impressive player. The last guy who threw a block around the 5-yard line was the quarterback, Yaro DeValco. Yaro DeValco, the quarterback, got all the way down there to throw a block.
And able to follow one of the fastest players on the field. DeValco got that block and a huge swing. McGee, another touchdown. That's his 4th of the game.
That's such a long run. I think Brian brought out his calculator to figure out how many yards he has now. And it's 213 yards on 17 carries and 4 touchdown runs.
Well, Skyview looked to score in a hurry, and they did indeed, as another touchdown. Slyman Farin is able to get that kick to go. 28-0. Eagles have not put themselves on the board. We'll take a look at that play again as McGee just able to dodge every defender left and right and found some light.
Good block by Xavier Owens there, and then there's DeValco down there leading the way. I mean, he didn't really get much, but he was there. He was there to make a block if he had to. And my point is it's just the hustle. A lot of times a quarterback hands the ball off on a play like that, and he just needs to walk or jog up to the huddle for the next play. Instead, DeValco's going down the right side of the field just in case McGee needs him, and that's just a real awesome teammate. You play team sports, you know what I mean. You know,
yeah, of course.
You know what it. Even if he didn't make the block, he was there, and that's a big deal. When they see this on film tomorrow or whenever they do their film session, they're gonna be talking about that hustle by their quarterback.
And of course, just to have a running mate there makes all the difference. So Farron will kick it off once again. The Eagles hoping for a spark. 53.7 to go in the half. And they'll be on the ground. Fall into one of their players, number 7. Oh. Number 7 still going, and he gets past the 50, and an excellent run there as Corey Quinn with a spectacular reception.
Kickoff return by Corey Quinn was the biggest play for Federal Way right now, and I didn't see who made the tackle. Was it the kicker? It might have been the kicker, Farron.
And at 5'7".
But it saved a touchdown.
Exactly, and that would have almost been a mirror of exactly what happened to the Eagles. Had that tackle not been made, they'll go to Bogan. He'll get about a yard or two. Not much there. But
and a quick timeout. Federal Way just wanted to see if they could break one on first down with a run. They have 39 seconds with that field position. They've got to try to score. They can't just go into the halftime down 28, nothing to regroup. They have to try to score in the next 39 seconds. So simple timeout, but the first down call was, would be not considered aggressive, but maybe smart. Maybe you get 5 or 6, 7 yards, and then you can do whatever. So it's a 1 yard gain. Just call the timeout. Try again.
So 2nd and 9 coming out of the timeout. Not a lot of time, but enough to hopefully get themselves into some kind of scoring position and crack that scoreboard and get themselves on the board, to be frank. So Tausili with Bogan. Both of them will stand at around the 50. He'll go to Bogan, or excuse me, he'll keep it himself, and to no avail as he picks up maybe a yard. He has not been very successful running the football himself all night, and that is a testament.
Yeah, and they're not even hurrying to get up the line now. They didn't call a timeout. I mean, yeah, they're going to get off the play here on 3rd down, but it's almost as like they're like, we just don't want Skyview to get the ball one more time, even in the last 20 seconds.
Tausili takes a shot down the field, and that's over the head and not even close to Corey Quinn. So an incomplete pass will stop the clock, 4th and 8.
Well, if their goal was just to get the clock down so they could just chuck one in the end zone, a Hail Mary, well, they did that. There's 7 seconds left, so Skyview's probably not going to get the ball back again, but certainly wasn't designed plays to try to score right away, the old-fashioned way, 10, 20 yards at a time, real quick.
Tausili. And that's over Corey Quinn again. And
I did not expect that play. That's a 4-yard out on 4th and 8 with 7 seconds left. I would have assumed it was going to be everybody go into the end zone, we'll throw it deep, and if the ball's incomplete or intercepted, it's the end of the half, no big deal. But But now, believe it or not, I mean, yes, Skyview could take a knee, absolutely. In the pros, they would take a knee. They're up 28-0, whatever. High school football teams will sometimes take a crack at it even in this, because If you get to 40 points, you get that running clock. Then you can start thinking about week 11. So I don't think they're going to go into victory formation here.
And McGee is not on the field.
And there's a timeout. I think Federal Way was not ready for Skyview coming out with 3 with trips to the left, and they're not going to just take a knee.
They're actually going to
go. They had to call a timeout once Skyview came out with that offense set.
So Skyview, by the looks of it, might take a shot.
Yeah, and this timeout might change their mind. They might just say, you know what, we're up 28-0. They can't stop our run game. Let's just go at halftime, whatever. But like I said, back to the 4th down play for Federal Way. I was just surprised at the play because even if it's completed, he gets tackled right there. The clock's going to stop, and Skyview's going to get the ball right there. So with 7 seconds left, you do a rolling pocket, throw it deep, Hail Mary, see what happens. And it's halftime if it's whatever. But
right.
I'm surprised by that.
Worst case scenario, they end up exactly where they are, but
right.
Skyview is without the ball.
Perfect.
Well, that did not happen. Skyview has the ball, 3.6 seconds, 1st and 10 at the 44, and only 3 receivers looking to possibly get one here. So Duvalco throws it, and running out of bounds is...
What they're doing was get that play done with the second left so they could then throw it 45 yards. They were trying to get a little closer.
Well, Skyview will take it up 28-0 as it's been a tough game for the Eagles, but we'll see if they can come back with it here. We got some highlights from the first half, most of these belonging to Skyview, especially with the dominant half they've had so far.
There was the 4th down sack by Micah Bayless.
And the nice catch by Wheeler there.
And then it should be a big dose of Jelani McGee.
And McGee has been huge all night. He's scored every touchdown Skyview has right now, and that one he fell just short of, but he was able to complete the play 2 downs later. And McGee has just been a powerhouse all night. And as we continue to see that here's that long run he had to end up in the end zone.
Right there. That cut is just, as a football fan, you just tears of joy when you see a guy do that.
And so McGee has been dominant all night. There's a lot of football coming up, but we're going to take a quick break. So in the meantime, enjoy some news from around Vancouver. Enjoy the halftime, and we'll see you in the second half.
Payne May is all about getting involved. The senior organized voter registration drives here at Skyview High School. She's a cheerleader and student government leader, and now her work has put her on the national stage. I'm Elena Bowler. This is Snapshot, a look at the people who make Vancouver Public Schools a great place to be. It's game day at Skyview High School, so Peyton May is in her cheerleading uniform. Here, she does team building exercises with her fellow classmates on Skyview's student leadership team. It's a typical morning for Peyton after an atypical summer.
Next up, Washington's outstanding teen, Peyton May.
After winning the state of Washington's Miss America Outstanding Teen pageant, Peyton competed in the national competition in Orlando, and then
Miss America's Outstanding Teen, a first runner-up, is Miss Arizona Caitlin Kay, which means the new Miss America's Outstanding Teen, it's Washington, Peyton May!
This is no overnight success story.
It's pretty amazing.
It all started for Peyton 2 years ago when her family moved to Vancouver from Seattle, and a friend told her about competing.
I didn't have any friends here. I had just moved here, and I didn't know anybody, so I was like, sure, we'll try it, right?
She started with Miss Clark County Outstanding Teen.
She had never been in any kind of pageant or competition like that before, and she just went in there with the attitude she was going to do her best, and she did really well that first year.
But it wasn't until her second year that it all clicked at state.
this past year, I told my mom, I was like, I just want to make top 5. That's my goal. And then like, oh, we'll be done, right? We'll be done with this whole pageant thing. And then I ended up winning.
On to nationals, where she continued to do what came naturally.
It's so important to learn how to talk with people and not to become so flustered. And so that's actually one of my strongest skills. At state, I won overall interview because I love to talk, clearly.
Her advisor, Sherry Backus, says the judges saw Peyton for who she is.
I think Peyton is a genuine person. She's not what people call pageant Patty. She hasn't been trained since infancy. She came into this being Peyton.
She showed her smarts and poise in a grueling interview process and spoke at length about her platform, encouraging civic engagement by young people.
I'm really excited to go to lots of different schools and talk to kids about that and try to help them understand why it's so important to get involved with our democracy and to make sure that they know that their voice matters in our country.
Peyton's voice helped her during the talent portion as well.
It was the most exciting experience I have ever had in this competition world. So it's been remarkable, and I'm very proud of her. She has given me a lot of experience to cherish forever.
So it's still kind of this crazy feeling where like I'm in disbelief, but I'm also incredibly grateful, and it's a phenomenal thing and an award, and I'm so honored that I get to be the 15th girl that gets awarded this national title.
And why can't I?
The tiara came with more than $30,000 in scholarship money. Peyton will continue as Miss America's Outstanding Teen until July, and then she'll pass the crown to someone new. In the meantime, she'll be doing events in support of her platform and, of course, working towards her high school graduation. For Snapshot, I'm Elena Bowler.
My name is Eben Fernando Heldreth. I am the Assistant Band Director here at Skyview High School. This is my second to third year being here. My role has kind of expanded this year. Previously, I was just the marching band director and just a consultant, and this year I am here pretty much full-time as the assistant band director. I chose to be a music teacher, let's see, I was in high school. It was about my sophomore to junior year, and I knew that I wanted to inspire people to kind of go after their dreams. And I had thought kind of really hard about how I would go about doing it, and the initial thing was to be a teacher. Now, right away I didn't know that music was the route I wanted to go. I was very passionate about music, but I wasn't sure that that was the field I wanted to go into. It took about probably a year to figure out that that was the best way I could connect with people, and the way that I think I could affect people's lives and get fulfillment myself from them.
I chose the trombone because it was what my sister did, and we've got like 5 trombones at our house. But also I always thought it was kind of like a cool instrument because that's the one with the slide, and there's not really any other instrument with a slide. Like, yeah, your saxophone with its keys and like treble with its valves, but trombone's like something special. So I think what goes most unnoticed about jazz band is the thought put into it and sort of the emotion put into it and that's difficult to convey when you're like a high schooler and you're just a kid, you know, reading notes on a paper. But the emotion that's involved with it, because I think jazz band really is sort of like, just jazz music is sort of like a language, and it's very expressive. And I think the thought and the feeling and the emotion that goes into that is something that people don't really account for, especially in high school.
Hello everybody, time for a quick look inside Vancouver Public Schools. I am Nick Vole. 2 months after it opened its doors to students and staff, community members finally got their first chance to go inside the new Ogden Elementary School at a special ceremony last night. Tara Cox was there and has a report. Tara?
Thanks.
Now that the school's been open for 2 months, we've officially cut the ribbon and the school is open. There are a lot of excited people here to check it all out.
3, 2, 1.
With the snip of a ribbon, Principal April Whipple and student leaders dedicated the new Ogden building in front of a big crowd. Guests and students can't help but notice how big and beautiful the new school is.
There's like stairs, even more rooms and more space.
I really like it. The spaces seem to flow well. I've got both a first grader and a third grader, and the spaces just flow, and they seem to work for all of the students and the teachers and the staff.
On the stage, Principal Whipple was joined by Superintendent Dr. Steve Webb and School Board member Mark Stoker. Student leaders did their part too, singing the school song. We asked several students their favorite part of the new campus, including twin sisters Kaylee and Kenna.
What I like about the new school is that the playground is ginormous. It has way more swings.
Other students love to climb the big staircase and visit one of the school's most stunning features.
The library, I really like it. I come here every, I think, Tuesday, and it's very fun. You can just take a book and sit down and just feel like you're in a whole different world.
One particular classroom also gets a lot of love.
The maker space is big, and I like that you can make stuff in it. I made a rocket ship. I've been making airplanes.
The school's integrated technology inspired one boy we talked to.
Because I was born to do science, and I want to be a scientist when I grow up.
And as families happily walk the hallways or eat some of the celebratory cake, it's clear that the community effort it took to build the school was worth it.
I like how that everybody tried the best to make this new school.
Well, people are heading out, and if you missed this opening for this new school, there'll be other ones to check out later this year. Back to you.
Thank you, Tara, and check this out. It is our favorite post from social media, and it features Tara Cox, who you just saw. Earlier today, she was named to the Vancouver Business Journal's Accomplished and Under 40 list. At a luncheon, she was given an award for her professional excellence and her many volunteer hours in the community. Congrats to Tara, who is really great to work with every day. And if you ask me, being under 40 is an accomplishment in and of itself. And hey, if you're on social media, why not connect with Vancouver Public Schools? We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Until next time, I'm Nick Bull.
There are a lot of adjectives that can be used to describe the focus of our story: hardworking, firecracker, jack of all trades, but none more so than soon to be missed. In today's snapshot, we take a look at a day in the life of Judy Amatawanai. I'm Elena Bowler, and this is Snapshot, a look at the people who make Vancouver Public Schools a great place to be.
Hi! One good-looking senior's free tonight.
To say Judy Amatawanai wears many hats, well, that would be an understatement.
I am the kitchen manager at Skyview. I oversee Alki and iTech, and I am a facility monitor. I am a game manager. I am a ticket taker, and I'm also the vice president of the SEIU 925 Union.
If you think you've seen her around at multiple events in multiple places, you'd be right. She's on location at almost every sporting event you can imagine, from setting up flags at football games to the bleachers and scoreboards at volleyball games and basketball games, and then she's taking tickets at everything in between.
So $4, hon.
Her average day, not so average. It starts in the kitchen at Skyview.
My average day starts about 4:45. I get to work, and I'm there till about 1:45. And then on certain nights, I start at 2 o'clock getting ready for a game, or 3 o'clock I get ready for a game, and I don't get home till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Judy's a self-proclaimed workaholic, but it's work she says she loves. And you can feel the love when Judy talks about her coworkers.
When my husband passed away, they all heard about it. They all, came and said, "How are you doing? Do you need anything?" We're family. We've been family for years, watching kids grow up.
And the feeling is mutual.
Okay, you're good to go. Thanks.
She just makes I'm not even working, we're just like hanging out.
She has a great personality. She's a hard worker, and she's always there if you need someone to help you out.
She takes her work very seriously. No one gets past her ticket booth without some type of contribution.
Hello. Chain gang?
Chain crew.
Yeah, how do I know that? I don't see your chains.
I'm Keys Miller.
I got you, thanks.
Because Judy says it's all for the kids, and that's who she'll miss the most. Judy is retiring as game manager next year.
I've enjoyed it. It's provided what I needed, but I think it's time to move on.
But don't worry, that's the only hat she's hanging up here at VPS. She'll still be taking your tickets.
Hi, two.
Keeping an eye on the gates and saying hello at many games to come.
There you go, thank you. It's family, and I'm just so proud to be a Vancouver School District employee.
Working at the district has really been a family affair for Judy. Her husband worked here as well as 2 of her kids. It's no wonder why she's so proud to report to work each and every day. For Snapshot, I'm Elena Bowler.
Time for a quick look inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Nick Voll. Years of grassroots work at Sarah J. Anderson Elementary School has paid off. Thanks to the PTA and the Anderson community, the school has a new walking path. Take a look. When we visited today, students ringed the walking path for a group photo. The path to the path has been a long one. School staff wanted the field adjacent to the school to be more usable in winter months when it becomes a big mud pit. So it asked the PTA to help raise funds for the path. Now, the outdoor space can be used year-round.
Well, I think keeping kids active is what's important. Not only on the health benefit, but just for their mental health as well. They get fidgety, they need something to do, they need somewhere to be, and it's just a better option than just a field.
Nike contributed $20,000 on top of what the Anderson community donated.
We are so grateful and thankful to the families that helped us raise the money. The community is just amazing at Sarah J.
There is actually a little bit of money left over, and the PTA hopes to use it to install exercise stations along the pathway. Pretty cool. And check this out, it is our favorite social media post. This time, the tweet comes from the school district itself. 3 VPS students are named as semifinalists by the 2020 National Merit Scholarship Corporation. It is one of the biggest academic honors a high schooler can attain. On your screen is Abby Kinney, Elizabeth Zimmerman, and Noel Sims. Congrats to these outstanding students, and good luck moving forward in the process. And hey, since you're on social media, why not connect with Vancouver Public Schools? We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Until next time, I'm Nick Voll.
We are preparing students for the future.
We are pursuing our dreams.
We are keeping our systems running smoothly so students can learn.
We are making sure the kids have the nutrition they need to learn.
We are keeping our kids safe and secure.
We are keeping our kids healthy and active.
We are ready for the future.
We are
Vancouver Public Schools.
We are Vancouver Public Schools.
Hey guys, how was school?
And welcome back to Kickin' Stadium. I'm Jordan Ryan, along with Paul Valencia from Clark County Today. So, we're back here with another half of football to go as Skyview is up by a commanding 28-0 lead. And going into this game, Skyview has really put the heat on the Eagles so far.
Yeah, and Federal Way just hasn't stopped Skyview at all. So Federal Way has to stop them once before they can think they have a shot at getting back in this game, and that just hasn't happened. Hey, real briefly before the second half kickoff, state cross country is tomorrow. I want to say shout out to all the Clark County athletes. There's over 100 of them in Pasco, and they're going to be doing that. We got volleyball and soccer coming up for state playoffs as well real soon. And then, hey, it's not too early to talk about winter sports, right?
It's pretty close.
It's like 9-10 days for the first day of basketball practice.
Pretty
and
much.
Jordan Ryan, earlier in this broadcast, one of the best basketball players in Clark County, in this region. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Columbia River does against the defending state champion, Washougal Panthers.
Of course. Thank you. Yeah, and I couldn't be more excited for winter sports, especially as fall sports come to a close. And a lot of things happening right now as far as playoffs go. And, well, the one you're watching tonight, of course, the Skyview Storm taking on their first playoff game of the season here at home against the Federal Way Eagles. The Eagles will kick it off for the first time tonight. Skyview receives. And running down the field is Barnum. Taken down at the 30 or 34-yard line, give or take. So,
all right, here is the challenge for Federal Way. One stop. You got to get the first stop before you can get 2 or 3. Stop them here, get a touchdown, there's a chance. Skyview scores on this opening drive, this game is over. And I'll be honest, I think it's 28-0. Nobody expects Federal Way to win that thing right now anyway. But there's no chance at all if Skyview scores on this first drive. And that's what the Storm are thinking. End this game right now, real early in the third quarter. Put it to them.
Of course. And you mentioned earlier the idea of resting players, especially early in a game here. In the case that they did, and looks like Duvalco looks to throw it wide open, is Mason Wheeler with the catch there. And in the case of another score, it's possible they could be resting.
Absolutely, especially if they get into the running clock thing. I want to go back to this pass play. Duvalco, I know how that, I've never been as good as Yaro Duvalco, but I know what that feels like. As soon as he threw it, he realized, he didn't have to throw it that hard. Mason Wheeler was so wide open, but he threw it hard because he just assumes there's a defender there and he's throwing him to the outside. Unfortunately, he caught the ball but ran out of bounds. There was no one around him. Just a floater would have been a touchdown, but of course, a quarterback is not used to throwing a floater. There's usually a defender there. It was shocking how wide open Mason Wheeler was.
And that's the most open we've seen anyone all night. So, despite that, Skyview gets past the 50-yard line. Looks like we'll have a timeout.
Yep, Sky didn't like something there, and I don't know. I didn't see the play clock. I assume it was getting close to 0.
So, Jaylani McGee is still on the field.
Oh, yeah.
As of this play.
When I say early in the season, they would just make sure that he only got a couple carries here when they had to. I think he only had 1 carry in week 9. I mean, it was a game that they were going to win if they just showed up.
Last week against Heritage, 3 yards, 1 carry.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're just making sure, because sophomore year he had some injuries. Last year he missed a lot of action with some things. In this offseason he hurt his foot, and it just makes sense. They knew they were going to be one of the best teams in the league. They wanted him healthy for the Camas game. He played a great game against Camas. Camas got the win. Congratulations to the Papermakers, league champions. I think it was a 5-point game, a thriller.
Undefeated.
And yeah, Camas is undefeated. So, but now it's go time. So he's going to play until they're up 35 or 40. Is my point. It'd be my expectation.
Right. They'll go to him here, and he's found quickly, ball on the ground, and picked up quickly by, looks like Barnum. Barnum taken head over heels as he's flipped over entirely by Corey Quinn.
And it was, I can't tell the number if it's 5 or 6. It was number 6 who ended up recovering that fumble.
6 recovering it, so that was not Barnum.
That's Amani Williams.
Amani Williams.
And that's an interesting one on the stat, because I think it's just a fumble recovery yards. I don't. That's a tough one, because it's not really a rushing play.
So on that recovery, picking up a first down is Williams. And an excellent turn of events for Skyview.
And can we just say, not only, as a Raider fan, I know what about bad luck is. Although we've been winning the last couple of weeks, but it's just like the ball's on the ground, Federal Way needs a play, and it doesn't happen.
And Basquette with the catch, proving to be a tough tackle as Basquette, and it takes 2 or 3 defenders to bring him down finally at the 2-3 yard line, very close.
And it's going to be a 15-yard penalty on somebody. Skyview celebrating, but I thought the late push was by a Skyview player. What had happened there was the defender for Federal Way was trying to strip the ball from Basquette, and it didn't happen, so Basquette kept going 3, 4, 5 more yards. They fall down, and he's still trying to rip the ball out after the play's over, and then another Skyview player came in and shoved that guy. Now, Federal Way might have shoved back, so who knows? Maybe it'll be offsetting, but I think the first big shove was a Skyview player.
So it'll be a first down for Skyview.
Oh, they're going to wave it off, so I guess they said, that usually means it's, 2 players were doing something.
So it's offsetting.
Yeah, but
okay.
It's not even offsetting. I don't know what to do, but it was really a strange play, but no harm.
So nothing coming out of that flag there. The Storm will be on the 3 yard line, 1st and goal. DeValco goes straight to McGee. McGee stutters and rolls his way into the end zone. His 5th touchdown of the night. He has scored every touchdown for Skyview so far, and he has had an excellent game. And we are barely into this 3rd quarter. Well, McGee has been the story all night as he has picked up already over 150 yards easily and put up every point except for the exception of the 1-point kicks.
Right.
And so far, Farron has been good for every one, including that one. So 35-0. Eagles are not able to score. Instead, they turn the ball over. Or, excuse me, they did not turn the ball over. Instead, they can't stop the Skyview Storm, and most importantly, Jelani McGee.
Yep, second half started the same way the first half was played. Skyview going all the way down the field, touchdown, McGee. That is 19 carries, 218 yards, 5 touchdowns. Now I could see someone else getting the carries for the Skyview Storm.
And just been dominant all night.
Yeah. If Federal Way does not, score on this drive, then I could see Skyview saying, let's go to someone else. Sorry, I'm getting notes. I'm just getting notes. I'm trying to read them as I try to finish a thought. And I'm not good at that.
It's okay. And so McGee has had 2 games worth of stats for 2 excellent games worth of stats in 3 quarters so far. And looks like Skyview will kick it off once again to the waiting arms of the Federal Way Eagles. The Eagles in hope to get themselves on the board. They did not get themselves on the board at halftime. They've had plenty of opportunities. It hasn't been really a big deal with their struggling offense, just minor errors. And they fumble the ball there, unable to get on top. Skyview Storm end up with the football right away. Number 20 for the Skyview Storm ends up on top of it. That is Teddy Beaver.
That's just an awesome. Well, I was just looking at the replay again, or trying to see that thing. But that was an awesome bounce for the Skyview Storm. And again, that's 2 bounces this half, and they go against Federal Way. So I mean, it's just, the bad luck just gets worse for Federal Way. So even when they get the ball on, when the ball's on the ground, they can't get to it. Skyview's recovered the 2.
And McGee not on the field. Instead, we have number 4, Gabriel Martin, next to DeValco. DeValco will look to throw it. He's got a little time. Open is Wheeler. Wheeler takes on a tackle head on. And he'll get himself to about the 13-yard line, give or take.
And here they go. Yeah. So, as I predicted, if they're up 35-0, I didn't think McGee would be in the next, the next series. I'm guessing he won't be in anymore. Kind of like a baseball team taking out their starting pitcher, saying, "Thank you, you've done enough. We'll take it from here."
So McGee on the sidelines. Duvalco will continue to be at the helm as QB, and was thinking about where he wanted to go instead of catching the football is Wheeler. Incomplete catch.
He's bummed by that, and anybody would be bummed by that, but he's had a really fine night. I want to tell you a little story about Wheeler. In the Union game, he had a few drop passes, and I think a dropped interception, and I actually talked to Coach Steve Kaiser about it after the game because I felt bad. Wheeler's a great guy if you've ever met him. And Kaiser told me he should never have been on the field probably. He had such a bad shoulder that week, but he wanted to play so bad, and he was medically cleared to play. And so please do not say just because he had dropped a few passes that he had a bad game. He had an awesome game.
McGee is back in the game, and just like that, he scores a touchdown right off the bat.
Well, that surprised me. Doesn't surprise me that McGee scored when he got the ball. I'm surprised he came back in the game.
6 touchdowns for McGee, and at this point, it looks like stat padding.
Okay.
He is just everywhere tonight.
Earlier, I said how I thank the Skyview coaches for making me look good. Well, now they made me look bad, but hey, touchdown score.
Nobody could have predicted that. He was not in the first 2 plays, and then out of nowhere, they go to McGee again, who's able to work the left side and just waltz his way into the end zone once again for the 6th time tonight. It has been an excellent game for him that just continues to get better. Skyview will complete the kick again, and Farron with another completed kick. So far he's been 6 for 6. Well, Skyview will kick it off again, and at this point the Eagles are looking for any kind of offensive traction. There's just not much for the Eagles here. Jelani McGee, on the other hand, puts up more yards.
So Brian Levesque just handed me a note, and anyway, it was a typo in the note, and so McGee does not have 3,000 yards rushing. No, that wasn't that bad of a typo. Anyway, McGee 20 carries, 231 yards, 6 touchdowns. It is now running clock. So Jordan, if you got anything to say, you better say it quick because this game is going to go quick. We're going to go 9:50 at 3/4 of running clock, and then 12 minutes of 4th quarter running clock. And you know what? I'm done predicting that McGee's not going to play anymore, but he's not going to play anymore, right?
That would be a safe bet, but I'm technically not old enough to bet, so I wouldn't know how to do that either. McGee, on the other hand, he's had an excellent night, and he's had several games worth of stats just in 3 quarters. And so here the Eagles go again. They're looking for anything, a miracle play just to get themselves on the board. And at this point, 3 points would be very welcome for them. So they'll go on offense once again, and Skyview Storm has been solid on defense all night. As you said, they have bent, but they have not broken, and they've not allowed any points. Farron will make a fair kick. Running down the field is Eagles player number, hard to tell.
I think it was 11.
That's
again.
11.
Yep,
So that's Jatavius McGee. So the clock is running as of right now.
Yeah, and I see a lot of starters from the Skyview defense still out. So they want to get more reps. I mean, right now you are practicing for week 11.
And this being a big game, the winner going on to state. Number 5, hopping, and that's Bogan, Jalen Bogan, who gets out of bounds, and he'll pick up several yards there. 2nd down.
So I think it's time we can talk about week 11 and the final 16 at state. A few years ago in this game, you would know if you won this game, this week 10, who your potential opponent would be. It would be either this team or this team. Mm-hmm. And you would know. You might have people looking at those potential opponents to scout. Okay, if we win week 10, we know who we're going to play. Nowadays, with the seeding, we don't know who Skyview is going to play because we don't know what their seeding, what the Storm will be seeded. We don't know what, So 16 will play 1, 15 will play 2. You don't know the seeding. I'm going to guess that Skyview here is going to be 8-2. Well, the 4A is loaded with some really good teams.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're hoping to get in the top 8 so they get another home game. But if they're not, if they're 9 or 10, they're going to be on the road.
Of course. And running down the middle is Tausili. And RJ Tausili has not had much success all night.
And as I said that, it, hit a little thing in my brain that said maybe that's why McGee was on the field. Maybe Skyview is trying to send a message to the rest of the state. 42, running clock over Federal Way, and
right.
I mean, they're not going to run up the score, but you still want to score a bunch and let people know, make a statement for that committee. They're meeting on Sunday. All the brackets will be out for all the classifications, but I love it. By the way, the seating last year, I mean, people will complain about seating. It's so much better than what it was in the past. Sometimes we'd have the best teams in the state playing each other in the first or second round of the state. It's not perfect, but I guarantee you the number 1 and number 2 seeds aren't playing each other in the first round anymore, and that's just
Well, and it's unfair to both teams when you have to play 1 and 2, first couple rounds.
Right.
So to see Skyview come out like this and play this well is excellent for Skyview and possibly for their seeding chances.
By the way, I'm gonna. Well, you can call this play. I'm gonna try to look at other scores or try to find other scores.
And throwing it down the middle, caught by number 3, and nice catch there. That's Davis. And so Davis gets a quick first down. Clock continues to run, 6:20 to go, give or take. So Davis with a nice catch down the middle and is able to pick up the first down. The Eagles get past the 50 with the ball on the 44. The Eagles hand it off. That's to number 22, and tripped up and losing a shoe is Damani Nelson.
So a little scoring update. Camas is ahead of Olympia 20-7 in the third quarter. It was a 13-7 game at the half. It's a surprising score. Normally, the number 1 seed from the GSHL rolls in the Week 10 preliminary round game. In fact, the 4A GSHL has not lost that game since 2007. So, I'm not saying Camas is going to lose, but they're playing in a tight game right now.
And Camas has been dominant all season. They have not lost a game.
Right.
And they've been, well, really the only team that's proven to be a big issue for Skyview within league. So obviously that has implications, and they've, you said it yourself, they've been considered one of the better teams in the state, and Skyview was right there.
Right. Camas has been hit hard by the injury bug the last couple of weeks as well, so see what happens going forward with if the Papermakers survive this one.
And throwing it too strong is Tausili, and that was intended for Chatavius McGee, just about 7 feet too far in front of him.
I'm going to do a little update on the 3A GSHL champion, the Prairie Falcons. Their first home playoff game in decades. First league title since, 1992. Last I saw, they were up 44-14 on Capital. That was about a half an hour ago, though, so I'm not sure what it is now, but they're on their way to... let me back that. They look like, the Falcons look like they're on their way to state. I've been doing this job for too long to just assume that a 30-point lead is going to be a game winner. I've seen teams come back from crazier things than that. But Prairie looks to be on the way to state. Congratulations to the Falcons.
Well, clock continues to run. Right now at the 28 is the Eagles. Handing it off to number 7, and he's tackled very quickly there. That's Corey Quinn, who's not able to pick up any positive yards there. It looks like he lost about 3 yards.
So in another game in the 3A JCHL, sorry to keep doing that. I'm just having fun with it.
You're good.
You know, it's a 42-0 game, so I'm finding something to talk about.
Exactly.
Evergreen, another great story. Evergreen football with a winning regular season. They're playing right now up in Seattle in Memorial Stadium under the Space Needle.
That is excellent there. And so running is Dosili.
So I'll pick up what? I'll make it 3rd and 10 for them. Okay, back to Evergreen. They're trailing Garfield right now, 14-7 in the second quarter. That was a later start because it's a doubleheader at Memorial Stadium in Seattle. But how about the Evergreen placement? You know, I mean, not sure they're going to win this game, but they have a chance to go to state. No one would have thought that 9 weeks ago. No one.
Dosili gets the throw down the middle, and that is to Jatavius McGee. He's close to the first down, will fall about just short.
I'm going to look for scores in the 2A for Clark County teams in the 2A. Hawkinson and Ridgefield play on Saturday.
And Hawkinson, for those who may not know, is the 2A state title winner for football.
Okay, the last update I see for Washougal football is playing right now up north on the road. I'm trying to blank on who they're playing, but they're up 21-7. We have 11 teams from Clark County in the playoffs right now, so I'm just trying to blank. But I think it was WF West. Yes, WF West.
Into the end zone, almost caught by Elijah Graham. A deep shot into the end zone on a 1st and 10, and Elijah Graham just not able to get to it. And Michael Stormberg breaks it up and prevents the touchdown. That would have been the Eagles' first points of the night had he caught it.
Going into the season, Washougal was everyone's pick to be second in the 2A GSHL. They had injuries. They got upset, so they ended up with the 3 seed. As we watch Federal Way, as the Skyview defense is up to the challenge again on that play.
Logan gets pushed back.
So Washougal, though, they lost earlier in the year to WF West. Well, they were without their starting quarterback in that game. They were without some other guys. They're up 21-7 right now in the 3rd quarter. If Washougal wins, Panthers go to state. That's what I love about all these Week 10 games. It's easy to say that. They just go to state.
They just go to state.
We'll find out what their seeding is if they make it.
It's cut and dry.
So again, Hawkinson and Ridgefield play tomorrow night, but they have each has home games.
And almost gets that pass to go in double coverage. Tried to catch it with one hand, and that is number 11, Jatavius McGee again. And 4th and 13, clock's running. I don't see why the Eagles wouldn't want to try and go for this. They're a little too far for kicking range as they sit right at the 20-yard line. That's going to be a long kick if they were to attempt it. 4th and 13, clock's going to run out. And that brings us to a 42-0 lead for Skyview as they score another 2 touchdowns, both of them by none other than Jelani McGee, who continues to pick up yards, and he has played well all night. We'll see if he shows up in this 4th quarter at all, if he's needed. Right now, he's not needed.
No.
The Skyview Storm have shown every sign of dominance, and they haven't even brought out some of their better receivers. They've just been McGee all night.
I've spent the last 9 minutes looking up scores of other games and trying to explain to all the viewers, all the teams from Clark County, because this game is over. So it's not over officially, but it's over.
It's getting pretty close, yeah. And of course, looking at the score, it would be very difficult for the Storm to pull out of this. Well, let's take a moment to recognize the students working on tonight's broadcast. Most of them are students in district's video production programs who are learning about careers in television. In addition to the students on cameras tonight, we have more back in the control room, directing, running replays, graphics, and audio. Over the course of the year, students will learn from the VPS productions as from 8 different middle schools and high schools. They will all come to participate. So thank you to all of these students for giving their time to bring local sports to our community. And an interception as the Skyview Storm end up with the football. There's a flag on the field. That's number 12 or 13?
13. Xavier
13.
Owens.
And the minute this fourth quarter begins, we end up with a quick interception for the Skyview Storm. There's a flag back at the 4-yard line.
This is interesting. Not way after, but enough. When he was talking to the white hat, I don't know. We'll see what happens. That might. Okay, there we go. It was after the interception. It was an illegal crack. What do they call it? Crackback? No. Yeah, it was an illegal block. So they're trying to do the safety thing for high school football. You're not supposed to do the block, a blindside block, coming back from behind the play. If a guy doesn't see you coming and you just crush him, that's what they called. But the interception does count. So I just didn't know how long that discussion was going to take. I was trying to figure out, are they going to call interference on Skyview? But no, the flag came after the interception. So Skyview ball. That was a 17-play drive for Federal Way. That's the number of plays. That was incredible. It took 17 plays. But again, Federal. That's the story of the first half. Was Federal Way could drive the ball, they couldn't score, and the same thing is happening now in the fourth quarter.
And it's just come down to 1 or 2 small errors that have just screwed up the entirety of the drive. That interception was that again. So Skyview Storm looks like they're going to drive it up about maybe 4 yards, give or take, on a short run.
It was Gabriel Martin, I believe, as the running back. So McGee is not on. Yeah, we didn't think McGee would be playing, and I can't see the number right now of the quarterback, but I believe they've got a new quarterback in there as well.
And number 4 and number 17 sit in the backfield. That's Clark Coleman, along with Gabriel Martin. Martin being the running back. So
cool for Clark Coleman to get back.
Coleman hands it off to Martin. Martin looking for some room to run, and he'll pick up a couple yards there.
Okay, let me get back to my around the Clark County football scape with the. Some playoffs. Trico League, La Center is undefeated. They went 8-0. They had 1 bye this year, so they're 8-0, and they're up 35-14 in their district playoff game against Elma. Win that game, go to state. I keep saying that.
Simple as that. Skyview Storm with only 2 receivers on the field right now, and it looks like Duvalco is most likely for the night. The clock will continue to run, looking at 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Running down the middle is number 4, and that's Gabriel Martin with a near first down. Second 2 for Skyview.
It's been a while since I've seen an update from the Montesano Kingsway Christian game, but at halftime, about a half hour ago, Montesano was up 28-14. But again, no matter what happens in that one, a great season for Kingsway Christian. They didn't win a league game last year. They made it to the playoffs this year.
An excellent story for Kingsway, private Christian school.
And I think I forgot to mention one other team that's in the playoff. The Union Titans, the defending Class 4A state champions, they play Saturday.
And between Union, Camas, and Skyview, 4A is tough to crack, especially in 2A. Or, no, excuse me, not 2A, 4A GSHL.
It's 3 power teams in a 5-team league. And sorry for Battleground Heritage, but they're just... As we have Brian Levesque from Battleground staff here. Sorry, man. He does not need to be reminded how good the 4A GSHL is.
Martin gets awful close to a first down. To him. So Skyview ends up with a first down. Martin able to get it down the middle, and pick up about 7 or 8 yards for the first down. So at the 40 is Skyview. Coleman hands it off again. Martin weaving, looking for an opportunity. He'll hop over a defender to end up on the ground. Maybe he'll pick up 2 or 3 at most.
That's 6 carries for 40 yards for Martin. That's a healthy average. He'll take that.
And he hasn't really played that long. I mean, he's only been in about this play series right here. Right. So this is.
Remember, he got that one in the third quarter when we thought, no, McGee's done. It's 35-0. He won't play.
Yeah.
So he got to carry that, and then McGee came in and got one more touchdown just to make it count.
There's another carry for Martin. Looks like he'll get a couple more there. Brought down by a few defenders from Federal Way.
So another break in the action. I'm going to say a message to the Columbia River girls basketball coaching staff. Jordan's hands are getting cold. So at practice next week, if she hasn't thawed out,
I have hand warmers. I'm good to go.
Okay,
I'm just crossing my arms because there are other parts of me that are cold.
Just trying to give you an excuse in case the first day of practice you don't hit 10 out of 10 3-pointers.
Of course. That's the goal, but. And Martin swings his way to a first down right at the 50. If he's not getting a first down on that play, it will be 4th and inches.
They moved that ball back.
They're going to move that ball a good deal back. It'll be a 4th and 1 here.
I don't care if it's 42-0. I don't care running clock. I can't imagine Skyview's going to punt.
Skyview has not punted the ball all night, so.
I mean, I guess I could be surprised, but I think Skyview's looking to try to get these guys some experience. So you go for it on these 4th and 1 plays.
I'll go for it. Martin down the middle. Martin with free room. Jets. Martin going down the sideline. He's tackled out of nowhere by number 51. That's Jaden Howard, but that's the best run Martin's had all night.
Yeah, well, I'd like to salute Mr. Howard there from Federal Way. When you're losing 42-0, it is easy to just go, oh boy. When someone gets going, that guy chased him down, and coaches are looking at that. Coaches, you know that, and it's good competition. You might be losing the game, but every play is its own thing, and you know that as an athlete now, and any of us who played before knows that every play matters to the athlete.
So stopping a touchdown is Howard.
Ooh, they're at the 14-yard line? They need I'll say this after this play.
Martin down the middle, following blockers. Martin can't get quite into the end zone, but
12 more yards. Right?
And there's McGee entering the field.
I get. You know what?
And at this point,
the only thing, no, McGee win, and the coaches are saying no. And the only thing I can think of is that maybe the school record is 6 touchdowns, which McGee has. So McGee was going to go in to try to break the school record. But the coaching staff said, no, that does not look good. And I think this is the right call. I don't care if it's a record or not. So that's our biggest drama of the fourth quarter. The other one is, if I'm Skyview, I take a false start play here. So because Martin has 96 yards rushing, and they're on the 2-yard line. He needs to get. He can't get 100, but just 2 more yards.
Martin pushing, but can't get past the line of scrimmage.
So yeah,
he might have gotten pushed back down the 4 on that play. Maybe another run, he'll get it.
Yeah, but that unfortunately those are his minus yards.
Those are minus yards.
So now he's down to 94 yards. But my point is that's how the old school used to do it. If you want to massage stats and try to get more stats, is hey, get a false start so we can get 5 more yards on this drive. But no, let's get back to that. That was interesting. McGee went onto the field like, hey, I'm going to go score my 7th touchdown, and I just want to say, whoever made the decision that would look bad, congratulations, because that would have looked bad.
Yeah. Skyview hands it off, and trying to work down that is Martin can't get it, as he's just hit a wall to get into an end zone.
And once again, I want to say a salute to Federal Way. I mean, every play matters. So they don't like losing 42-0. They're certainly not going to like losing 49-0. A great open field tackle.
Now it's Jatavius McGee for Federal Way with that tackle to keep Skyview out of the end zone. 3rd and 2 right now. We'll see if they go to Martin again. They do. Martin down the middle, pushes, and to the end zone. And so for the first time tonight, someone other than Jaylani McGee for the touchdown. And so Gabriel Martin, the 6'2", 200-pound running back in his sophomore year, scores the touchdown. And once again, Slyman Farron will line up to kick again. He's 7 for 7 as of right now. And make that 8 for 8.
Nope, 7. Yeah, no, you were right the first. Now he's 7 for 7.
Now he's 7 for 7. Okay, predicted. Done that. He's done good.
He's done good.
He's done good. That's basically what I was trying to say. He's done really good. So, minute 19.
When you score on every possession of the game, it gets hard to keep track.
It's hard to keep track. I swear I can do multiplication. Anyway.
So anyway, I just tweeted out that Gabriel Martin and Jelani McGee have combined for 7 touchdowns tonight.
Sounds good.
13-play, 98-yard drive. All runs by Gabriel Martin.
So, 2 running backs for Skyview with nice performances tonight.
Yeah.
So, minute 19 left to go in this football game. The Eagles set up to receive a kick one more time as Skyview is still in the huddle. So Farron will look to kick again, and the Eagles at this point just looking for an opportunity to end the game and go home.
I'm getting my final score tweet ready, but I will not press send until the clock is 0. But of course, whenever I get it ready, then someone will score on a long breakaway. So yes, so the score will change.
Well, Federal Way has a minute 19 left to possibly get themselves on the board. That's a squib, and bouncing into the arms of number 22, that's Damani Nelson. He is taken back.
He ran backward and
backward and got tackled backwards.
Was that Bryson Doman? I think it was number 5 with the great open field tackle for Skyview.
Under a minute to go. Eagles slow to get onto the field. Nobody's in any particular hurry.
So I'm going to give a little plug to my Twitter account, at Valencia CCT. That stands for Clark County Today. But at Valencia CCT on Sunday, while I'm watching all the NFL games, I'll also be watching the WIAA's site, and I'll be tweeting out all the seedings for all the local teams going to state for football.
And play clock will just continue to run here. Federal Way ran 1 play, and I think that's all they're going to need.
Yeah, I'd start shaking hands, but no, it looks like they're going to try. They got time to snap. They're going to snap another one, it looks like.
At this point, why not? As Federal Way is going to snap 1 more play for this game. They'll hand it off to, and they hand it off.
That was a heck of an effort.
Jalen Bogan, and that was a dangerous play to say the least there. He seems okay. The clock runs out, and Skyview ends up with a win there. So the Skyview Storm hold the Eagles to a score of 0. The Storm, on the other hand, put up 49 points, 6 touchdowns for Jelani McGee and 1 for Gabriel Martin into the 4th. The Skyview Storm with their first playoff win, and they're headed to state coming out of this game. So excellent game for the Storm. Federal Way, on the other hand, will be sent home after this Week 10 matchup.
7-3 right. Oh, here comes some highlights.
And most of these likely belong to Skyview, as it's been an excellent night for them. A little bit of warm-up footage from both teams, and the highlights right here. And of course, the story of the night has just been Jelani McGee, and that's a shot right there of.
Here comes the student sections. We're welcoming the football players, and here we come to highlights.
Okay. And there's
we promised Skyview had highlights tonight.
Skyview had highlights. They had plenty of highlights.
Federal Way did not.
And
okay, so let's get back to Sunday. So Sunday, by Sunday we'll know all the 16 teams in the state for 4A, and we'll have all the seedings done by Sunday evening. And here are the highlights. There's Mason Wheeler, did several catches tonight.
And of course, Jelani McGee would be seeing a lot of him here. There's his first touchdown of the game. And then the throw there.
Love that throw.
Xavier Owens. Probably the most successful reception of the night.
Yeah.
And DeValco getting it to Wheeler again. And of course, finishing off another touchdown there.
Way with the business decision, as I said.
And Federal Way, the real bright spot of the night for Federal Way was Bogan, who was able to put up some nice yards. But yeah, Skyview Storm just dominated all the whole night, and a huge play here, probably a game-changing play.
That was the defensive play of the night for the Skyview Storm.
Mike Bailey. Wheeler, compared to Jelani McGee, he had a quiet game, but he really did have an excellent game and several great receptions. And then, McGee with a near touchdown there, and the throw down the middle. There's Barnum.
No, there's
Wheeler. Or excuse me, Wheeler again.
The McGee with the ho-hum touchdown there, but we're hopefully going to see his long run. The one where, yeah, this is going to be
the best.
This is
arguably
awesome.
The best play of the night is just McGee weaving right and being able to avoid tackles like that.
Great cut there, great block by Owens, and then there's DeValco downfield just in case.
And the touchdown for McGee.
Just an incredible play for the team there, not just McGee. Just great blocking, great everything.
And then there's Basquette with a nice catch there that brought the Storm to the 3-yard line. McGee with another touchdown. And then Wheeler.
What a fourth quarter for great Gabriel Martin.
Yeah, Martin with an excellent fourth quarter, and him finishing his own touchdown as the final score of the game. Well, an excellent game for the Skyview Storm as they will head to state after a spectacular win at Kiggins Stadium. We want to thank you for joining us tonight on VPS Game Time. I'm Jordan Ryan along with Paul Valencia. Thank you and good night.